Hello, 6033 students. A little bit on Elizabeth Loftus and on the fragility of memory and its susceptibility to manipulation. Memory, as you've been reading this week in Loftus's article, does not work like a recording device. It's fragile. Memory is constructed and reconstructed, kind of like a Wikipedia page. We do remember key bits of things, of events, but then upon retrieval, we fill in the missing parts with plausible guesses. We're not always aware that we do this, but this is how memory works. Forgetting is an adaptive feature of people's memories. We don't need to remember everything that is literally everything that has happened to us. It's not like a film. And so, because of this feature of memory, it's possible memory is susceptible to change, to distortion. And it's possible that by questioning people in an unwise manner, that we may in fact distort people's memories. We may contaminate their memories by asking them leading questions. As you've been reading this week, different kinds of leading questions could involve asking people to imagine things, doing imagination exercises, asking people, suggesting that their dreams may in fact literally be true. Hypnosis is a technique used to make people more easily suggestible, and therefore it makes them even more vulnerable to the insertion of false memories. And then just simply asking about false information. So when did he do this to you? He must have done this to you, kind of thing. So Loftus and other scientists have conducted studies in which they use suggestion to plant false memories in people, false memories of stressful experience into their subjects. And they found that not only were they able to plant false memories that the people actually believed after the fact, but they also, the false memories that they planted affected their subjects' behavior afterwards. So one example of this is that Loftus planted false memory that once upon a time when you were younger and you ate a certain food, like a hard-boiled egg, you got sick afterwards. And they found that after planting that false memory in people, the people later were less likely to choose that food, such as a hard-boiled egg, to eat. So indeed, the false memories can in fact influence behavior. They have the capability of doing that, and that's been shown scientifically. So, it's very hard. In fact, it's not possible yet using psychological methods, using interviewing methods, to find out for sure whether a memory is false or whether it is true. The only techniques we have for reliably distinguishing false from true memories is corroborating evidence from eyewitnesses, film, recordings, and so on and so forth. And so, this set of findings has had huge implications, especially for the field of law and concerning eyewitness testimony. Of major concern to us, though, in our program is that we should refrain from inadvertently engaging in practices known to raise the risk of manipulating people's memories. You should know that young children's memories are more malleable and more amenable to manipulation than older children's memories. And so we need to be especially careful when we're questioning young children. Briefly, you want to stick with open-ended questions like, what happened next? Where did you go yesterday? What else did you see? And, basically, when you're interviewing children who are suspected victims of abuse, you need specialized training. Don't try it without specialized training. Don't try to find out what happened to a child, were they really raped or whatever, without this training. This is the domain of forensic psychology. Forensic psychology has to do with law and psychology. interviewing people, expert witnesses. These are the people who testify, um, whose job it is to testify. And if you're interested in gaining these skills, there are workshops offered periodically at professional conferences, and uh, I invite you to attend those. This is a wonderful area, but you really need to be aware of the limits of your competence in this area, and that you need specialized training to do extensive interviewing of young children, to see if they've been abused. Well, take care and talk to you next week. Bye bye.